It's funny, there's the first PA the boys bought off Tiny Tot Daycare.
Really? What's going on here? You guys should do a show there.
We should do a show
do
there.
Your CD release there.
For anybody who's listening, Brady told us before we started recording that his band also just got a bus from Tiny Tot Daycare.
We like to buy their old shitty stuff.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hitmakers, your favorite drum and drummer podcast. So today we've got the very second interview I ever did with some friends of mine from PEI, Prince Edward Island, Canada, where I'm from originally. We have Brady MacDonald, who plays in a band called the Royal North. He's got some other bands too. And Mike MacDougall, who is currently bandless, as I discovered. Anyhow, these guys have been knocking around the Charlottetown PEI scene for years. We talked about what it's like doing what they do. And I decided to include, this is the longest one yet, because I didn't want to cut this thing up. There are a couple edits, but not much. I didn't want to chop it up. I think it's pretty funny the whole way through. This episode also marks the point where I realized I was making a different show than I thought I was. When I started doing this, I really was sort of in this mentality for a long time. Basically, since I started teaching, I felt like my teacher persona has to be this like proper person. And it's very different from the kind of person that you wind up running into in the band scene, and honestly, it's not really who I am. So anyhow, I approached this with my list of drum lesson questions, thinking, because when I started this podcast, I thought honestly it would be a way to attract new drum students, and I don't know, like children don't listen to podcasts anyway, I don't think, so I don't think it matters. Anyhow, it became apparent pretty quickly when we started recording this interview that that's not who this is for. And that's fine. I think it's better. I made it for a better show. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this one. We had a lot of fun recording it. All right, let's get to it.
There we go. We're in the studio. We're rolling.
Hello, Chickie.
Hello, Brady. All right. I'm sitting here in York, PEI, with two of Charlottetown's finest. We got. Should I introduce you guys? Do you want to state your names?
Why don't you introduce me and I'll introduce you?
Love
This is
it.
Mike MacDougall.
And this is Brady MacDonald.
How you guys doing today?
I was doing great till you showed up, Chickie.
Oh, well.
My back's a little sore, but
Now we're here. Life's not fair. As it turns out. So we're talking drums. Also, one thing that I've done is I go through it. I got to edit out a lot of myself going,
oh.
yeah, anyway.
Now you got to edit that.
Yeah, and you're going to cut all that out.
That's done. Okay, so we're talking about the drums. How'd you guys get started playing drums?
Go ahead, Mike.
I don't think I have one. I can't answer this question.
Honestly, for me, it was Guns N' Roses.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How old were you? What's your earliest memory of
playing drums? Or
the drums being around, or you kind of like seeing somebody playing the drums or seeing a set of drums saying you want to do that? Okay. That's very specific.
The Much Music Big Ticket live from Paris.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
That's very specific.
I have it if you want.
Is it? Yeah. Nice. Nice. Is that with Steven Adler?
It was
right?
with Matt Sorum.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
How long had he been
Wow.
with the band at that point?
Well, he recorded the record in 90. So
That would have been Use Your Illusion?
Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. I didn't know that Fred from Cinderella played with them for a little while.
He did.
That's crazy. I had no
Steven
idea.
broke his arm.
Yeah, that's nuts. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
No, now you do.
Yeah. Why he got kicked out of the band, Steven Adler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heroin overdose. Or no.
Well, he
Just
was
unreliable.
on drugs.
Right? Yeah.
You can't trust a junkie.
He
Like,
did
that's
27
common
takes of
knowledge.
a tune in the studio. I think the boys called her quits.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That is rough.
That sucks.
Yeah. Especially for the guys doing the tape.
Well, yeah, that's
splicing.
just it, right?
Well,
You're
and the
just like,
label
yeah.
who's paying for it, all of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're just
Yeah.
sitting there going, holy fuck. Didn't you help us write this song and you can't play the song?
Yeah.
That's a little fucked up.
I heard, you may be able to correct me on this if it's wrong, but that he walked in the studio once and stood in front of his drums and waved to the crowd as though he was at a concert because he just was so whacked out he
Wow.
didn't know where he was.
I've never heard that.
Fuck.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, and that's when they knew it was time to part ways.
kind of like a, good evening, folks. I'm
Yeah.
here. Kind of, oh my God.
It's like you're home.
Yikes.
How about you, Mike? How'd you get into drums?
I think it's because of my brother. My brother's always played drums, and I think it was one of those things like he came home and was like, I play in a band, and I do all this, and then it was kind of like, I want to be like my big brother, and be a drummer. But it took me a long time before I actually had a drum set, like an actual functioning kit.
Well, my brother played too before me, but he didn't play drums. But he was in bands, and I always liked it. But
Yeah, I guess, I was always kind of like looking up to him, and be like, someday. I'm gonna
Same,
be like
man.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, right? Yeah. My first drum set, I remember buying it in New Brunswick at a yard sale. And it was only a tom, a snare drum, and a bass drum, but no pedal. And like there was a stand for the snare drum, and then that was it. There was no other hardware besides that. So that's all I had. And I was just like, fuck, what am I supposed to do with this? So I used it like that for like a long time. And then eventually it's like, well, a friend of mine selling a drum kit. Got that, and then kind of went from there. But there was a little while where I was just kind of like hitting the bass drum with one arm and hitting the snare drum with another.
But you didn't, there was never a point where you just kicked it.
Never thought of that. Why would I kick a kick drum? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, I'm still using that bass drum today with that blue kit that I have.
Really?
Yeah, I still have it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just rewrapped it and still use it.
What kind of drum is it, do you know?
A Baxter.
A Baxter.
So it's like below like Westbury and all those ones. It's like way down on the list.
My first kit was a 73 Tam Imperial Star kit.
Were they? Mine were Imperial
Wild.
Stars.
But they
My
were
first-
beat to fuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
And my parents got them painted.
Yeah.
And I played them for years.
Crazy.
Years and years and years.
I always thought of you as a Pearl man.
Well, I played everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play mostly Pearl now.
Yeah.
Pearl Masters.
Wow.
Yeah, because you had
Yeah.
those yellow pearls, I think.
Still
were the
got
first
them,
kit
dog.
that I remember. Yeah.
They're going to rewrap them. Some green sparkle.
Oh, yeah?
That was
No,
John
that
Holmes.
was John Holmes' kit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And Chris Wood, I think, had that either before or
No,
after, right?
I bought Chris's Yamahas. The
Oh,
brown
okay,
ones.
yeah. And then
I sold
Those
them.
went
I
to
traded them to John for the pearls.
messed up.
But I still got them.
Keep it all in the family.
I got one of your bass drums in the house too.
No, that's right.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, mine were Imperial Stars. My uncle played them, and he eventually got rid of his drums, so he gave them to me. And
Did yours have bottom skins?
yeah, they did.
Mine didn't. They
Yours
were
didn't,
concert
eh?
toms.
Well, yeah, actually, when I was probably 14 or so, my dad saw an ad in the Buy, Sell, and Trade for like a Tama drum set. And we drove out, it was like out towards Morel. And down in this basement, it's all dank and gross. And there's this giant black drum set. It was the complete Iron Maiden drum set, but with only one cymbal. You're just like, what the fuck? Like all drums, and then there's just one cymbal. It's like, this is fucked.
And it was like an 8-inch splash.
Yeah, exactly. It's all
Yeah,
bent.
big giant crack in it. I had a splash. It was the first one to go. First cymbal I ever broke.
But it's just like kind of weird. And Dad's like, do you want to get this? I was like trying to play it cool. I'm like, well, it's not that bad, I guess. It's been kind of cool. But yeah, it was all, I don't know if they were Imperial Stars or
Did you have
What
a
they were.
Premier kit at one point? Or a Mapex kit?
I had a Mapex when I was in Dynamites. That was probably early 90s.
And that was a big kit, wasn't it?
Just a 5-piece, but yeah, the deep, big, heavy drums.
Did you sell that to JJ La Rosa?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. That was an awesome sounding drum kit, actually. That's the most modern kit I've ever owned in my life. Like, everything's always been used. I think that was think that maybe that was secondhand, but usually everything's like old. I never had anything like recent kind of a thing.
Do you like that just for sound or just?
Yeah, I guess so. And then I think with me, I worry that it's going to get scuffed up and scratched, and it's going to be like, well, I paid fucking thousands of dollars for this goddamn drum kit, and someone threw up on them.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like, well, this kit only cost me $70.
Or you have nine band nights at the Arts Guild and people bang on them all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Cripes.
I know. Why did I buy new skins
Yeah.
for these drums?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Somebody's always. Yeah.
You want to play your drums for the 20 minutes you play, and then all day you're watching them going, oh my God.
No, what kind of sticks is? Oh God, look at the sticks.
Yeah.
You're a metal band?
Yeah. You don't need to stand up when you play. Yeah, you can tell right away. It's interesting though. Some people seem to be like new gear guys, where some people prefer vintage. I think that I tend toward the vintage, but also the cheap. Like $500 is my top, kind of my max for any new piece of gear I want to buy.
Yeah. I've always been like that too. Like the cheaper the better.
I've kind of gone nuts here the last little while.
Well,
Yeah. What do you got?
I got all Peisty 2002s.
Nice.
And the whole kit. 17, 18, 20 crashes, 22 ride, and 14 in Signature Series.
Yeah.
Sound Edge hats.
Oh, nice.
With a Pearl Master Retro Spec kit.
Nice.
24, 13, 16, 18.
Crazy, man. Nice.
Cool. Why the
Huge.
2002s?
Because they sound awesome.
Yeah. But was there a particular thing? I have one 2002 crash.
Motley
which I
Crue,
like.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Those records,
Yeah,
those
there you go,
hi-hats,
right?
and
Yeah.
they sound so good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, you got to spend the money. If
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
to get that sound, that's what they are.
That's true. That's
I
a
didn't
good
realize
point.
that's what he used. I knew that Bonham used them.
That's why he used them.
Really? Yeah.
We also got to think that the versions that Bonham used compared to the Tommies were years and years apart, and probably
I would
when
think
Bonham
so.
got them, they were probably. I don't know if they would have been brand new when Bonham got them, or if they had been sitting around for a couple of years, like kind of.
I don't think they were his original cymbals. I
Yeah.
think around the time he started playing Vista Lights, he
See.
also started using 2002s. I might be wrong.
My ride's actually from the 70s. It's
Really?
Is it?
the like dull finish, and
Yeah.
Nice.
you would actually probably dig it.
Cool.
Is it a Peisty too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all are. It's
Cool.
It's 2002s except for the hats and their signatures.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Yeah, Tommy's drum sound and cymbal sound, like in those first 2 or 3 records, are just like
he was using
mint.
sonars
So
for a bit
good.
too.
Really wild,
That seems weird.
crazy.
I had a sonar kit.
Yeah.
It was good. Actually, right there,
That's
that
the-
picture.
the
That's
photo,
the sonars kit.
That's nice.
And I had DWs, and that was the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah,
People
what
say
wasn't-
that. That's funny because like I've always thought of DWs as like the Cadillac.
So
of
did
drums or
I.
whatever,
Yeah,
blah,
exactly
blah, blah.
right.
I ordered a kit. It was $3,000.
Jesus.
They came in, and I went to change the heads on all the toms,
Yeah.
and the 12-inch rack tom was egg-shaped out of the box.
Oh my god. Crazy.
How does like custom made?
Yeah.
Like custom sizes, whatever.
No, just like ordered it. and
Oh,
they
you ordered it
installed
from the
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was just like, nope.
Wow. Did they replace it?
I didn't even want to give my money back.
Yeah.
I'm not buying this
That's it.
garbage anymore.
Oh man. I wonder if that was something with like, maybe not, but I wonder if it's like with shipping, the temperature change and stuff like that. If that kind of messed
Could
up
be.
the shells.
Could be, but if you're a premium drum company, you should know that happens.
Or
And-
be using wood that wouldn't change so much.
I've
Yeah.
played a bunch of DW
crazy.
kits, and I don't find they sound any better.
yeah, they're
Than
not better
other
enough.
things.
Yeah, the hardware's weird too. Some people maybe like
The
it.
kickers and the stuff are terrible. There's
Really?
pieces
Oh, you don't
falling
like
off.
those?
There's-
Oh, man.
I find there's
I hear they
pieces
break.
falling off,
Yeah.
and then you lose this, and you can't use it, and
Wow.
that's no good.
Well, I use a pedal and hi-hat stand. I think it's a 3,000 pedal and a 4,000 stand. And they're great. That's awesome. Like, I haven't had any problems.
See, I had double pedals, so then we
Oh,
got
okay. Well, yeah, there's a lot more to
Moving parts.
lose. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have a ton of experience with the pedals, but the cymbal stands I find are weird. Like those, they get the arm that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have the wing nut like everybody else.
Oh, it's like
Yes.
a flicks kind of a switch
Yeah.
thing. How does that work?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's why I
See,
find it.
I always thought it would be like you just turn it a bit and then it's loose, right?
Yeah, I
Or is
guess.
it-
I don't know.
You keep turning it and turning it and turning it like a wing nut. Kind of thing.
Anytime I show up to play somebody else's kit and it's DW hardware, I'm like, okay,
Excellent.
I should. Yeah, I know. I'm
leave it.
sure I should know how to do this, but I have no idea.
Just,
Yamaha is the best stands.
Oh yeah, they're
They
perfect.
collapse down so
Yeah, they're
nice.
light.
They're awesome.
They work great. Yep.
I agree. I have a couple of no-name stands. I think I found them. Like at backstage, sitting in band rooms and stuff like that, like backstage at bars.
If I come back here next time and they're there, I'm taking them.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh,
They're there.
lumps.
Mine are a mishmash, but it's because buying stands sucks. I hate spending money on them. So I have a Westbury and I have a Ludwig that's like too big and too heavy, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a boom stand. Doesn't matter. Yamaha hi-hat stand and Gibraltar, probably everything else. I'd love to just get it, like have them all Yamahas and be done with it, but for the couple $100 it would cost me to do that, I just
Oh
have
man, it's a
never
couple
bothered.
$100 almost a stand.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
I have a little Gretsch, like Catalina, like the jazz kit, that size, but it didn't come with the tom mount. But to buy a new one is $100, or to buy a snare stand to mount your tom on is also $100.
Jumpins.
Yeah.
Got you over the barrel there.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna build your own.
You're like, "Ah,
could.
don't worry about it."
You could, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
you should
not gonna
do.
build
That's what
my
you should
own.
do, Chickies.
Yeah.
Build a tom stand.
Well,
Build a tom stand.
Should just like got a couple of like zip wire thingies and just kind of hook it onto something and
Yeah.
let it hang. Every
Post
time
it
you
on
hit it,
YouTube.
it spins around.
My journey. It's just mad at you. I listened to, there was the audiobook of NoFX. They're like, they put out their autobiography, Hepatitis Bathtub or whatever. But that drummer, when he started, he had his cymbals mounted on ropes. He strung a rope from the ceiling to the floor, put a knot in the middle of it, and that's what his cymbals were mounted on at his house. Yeah.
Oh, at his house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was thinking
Yeah.
like going on the road.
Oh, no,
How
it was
high are the
before.
ceilings in this club.
Who packed my ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got to go to Home Depot. I don't have enough rope. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's the high ceilings in here. Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I think you just didn't know.
You
Didn't know any
should.
better.
You watch TV?
Well, like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you go out at all?
you like
Or whatever,
music?
It's that
Do you
thing.
like music? Yeah,
It's that
exactly.
thing when you're a kid and you don't know where gear comes from. You don't have any money. You don't know how any of it works. I also watched it was the Minutemen they're talking about when they started their band. They're like, we didn't know you're supposed to tune your guitars. We just thought some people like them loose and some people like them tight.
Oh, wow.
the strings, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You just have to tune guitars.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can.
That's why we're drummers.
You don't have to, yeah.
You don't have to.
There's no tuning, please, but you don't have to. Okay, so how about now that we've talked gear a little bit? First band. What was everybody's first band?
Fifth Gear.
Really?
Yep.
Actually,
Actually.
I had a friend who's like, it's like a pretend boy band. This band didn't exist, but they were going to call it Fifth Gear. But this is like years later when I was in university, my friend Spike. That's not a joke.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We weren't a boy band.
You got there first. What kind of music?
It was a rock band. Played covers. We had
Yeah.
a couple of our own songs. We played Winter Carnival Dance. It's my junior high school in grade 8.
Nice. What covers did you do?
Oh, potty bad ones. Did some Green Day and
Yeah, of
Offspring
course.
and
Did you do When I Come Around?
you're goddamn right we did when I go around.
Yeah. Oh, I did too.
Probably like Sex and Candy or something stupid
Oh,
like
yes. Marcy Playground, the heyday.
I can't actually remember
Yep.
the first band I was in. That's bad. Remember the last band I was in? No, I can't think. That's terrible. I'm gonna have to skip this question.
All right. How old would you have been when you started playing in bands?
That's a good question too. I don't know.
What kind of
13 for me.
venues early on? What kind of
Was it
venues were
13?
you playing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was 13. Brady says I was
Okay,
13.
sure.
No, I don't know. Cripes.
Brady, you said you played the Winter Carnival Dance.
Well, that was our first show at Stone Park.
First show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then my brother's band would put on shows and we'd hop on to a couple songs there, but
All ages shows.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Halls and stuff.
Yeah. Like put together PAs.
We had a PA.
You owned one.
Well, he owned one.
He owned one.
that
yeah.
we used. So
Set
You guys
speakers
have
on
always been
tables.
good like that, though. For as long as I've known you, it's like you had made sure that you had the gear to make it work.
well, how are you going to make it work if you don't have the gear?
I don't know.
yeah, that
When I
makes
started
sense.
playing shows, it was somebody had an old PV that they got in the buy, sell, and trade for $70, and somebody else had this old bass amp that we rigged up through the PA. Nobody knew how any of it worked. Sound was terrible, I'm sure.
It's funny because the first PA the boys bought off Tiny Tot Daycare.
Really? What's going on here? You guys should do a show there.
We should do a
Should
show
do
there.
your CD release there.
For anybody who's listening, Brady told us before we started recording that his band also just got a bus from Tiny Talk Daycare.
We like to buy their old shitty stuff.
Not bad. Anytime any band vehicle that I've ever had has always been a minivan, which is not cool. But we got one for free. They got smashed when a tree fell on it during a hurricane, and insurance bought us a new one, which immediately, like, the muffler blew out a couple hours down the road in the first tour we went on. We were driving from Halifax to Montreal. We got to Sackville, New Brunswick, hit a bump, and
Oh, shitty.
just like you're driving wearing earplugs for the next 10 hours.
The first tour we did, we bought a van off the Rude Mechanicals. Mm-hmm. They lived in Toronto at the time. We bought their van when they come down here because they weren't going to take it back. So we just thought that we'd drive it.
It just makes sense.
Of course, idiots. We made it to Capital A, New Brunswick.
In New Brunswick, yeah. Then what
Not
happened?
even Moncton. Blew the fucking engine off. My dad had to come pick us up. We came back, spent all our money, bought another van, and blew that one up in Gananoque, Ontario.
Oh,
Holy
good.
Christ.
Yeah.
It was great.
You bought another van, so it was worth it to, you were better off buying a van than
We didn't know.
fixing it. Right.
We just wanted to do the tour.
Sure, of course.
Well, that makes sense. We had that brown one for a while when I was in Eyes for Telescopes. That was an awesome piece of machinery.
What was
It
it?
was a Econoline, I think, but it had a sunroof in the front, and there was no latch for it. So you got going too fast, and the thing would start flapping. And so we made it to the big stop in Allac, and we got like bungee cords, and we kind of hooked them up to like the part of the driver's seat, so it would kind of hold the window down enough to make it to Halifax. Like, it was ridiculous. And we got my dad to like weld a giant seat into the back of it that folded into a bed. And
Nice.
yeah, so we pour all the gear in there, and then there'd be like at least 6 or 7 of us like every time we went anywhere, because everyone had to bring their girlfriends. And so
We have a rule. There's no girlfriends or wives allowed in the bus
Oh, wow.
or the van.
Yeah,
And it's not a bad thing. It's
then
just
it smelled good.
no. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because there's no need of it.
In what sense? Because you're there to work?
Well, yeah, like it's not a party. We're there
Yeah.
to play, so we go play the gig. Then we go to the hotel and drink a lot of beer.
Right.
Then we go to sleep and wake up and come home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At 3 o'clock, it's, I'm tired. You want to lug this shit out for us then and get,
Right. That's the side of being in a band that
Yeah.
people don't
understand.
No, you got to wait around till everybody has left the bar. Then you got to pack your stuff up.
Yeah.
Especially as a drummer, actually, like, and whatever. But you have the most gear to tear down and lug. You the most
Yeah.
stuff to set up.
I've
Did you guys
gotten-
think about that at all when you started playing drums?
I didn't.
No.
No, I
And
didn't.
there's
either.
countless times that I'm walking out of the place after my 5th or 6th trip. I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I just learn to play the flute?
Yeah.
Or sing.
Or sing. Yeah, exactly.
Sing.
See you, boys.
Yeah.
Bye. But I've gotten it down to about 20 minutes. I can set up and tear down and have everything set up within 20 minutes.
You get your like little methods down over the
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
That's why I like the small drums.
Yeah.
Because they're easy to pack up, easy to carry.
Yeah, exactly. And since I use kind of like a quote unquote jazz setup, I guess it's not 2 cymbal stands and a couple of drums and boom, it's done.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do too. It's like with hardware, it's 2 trips.
Yeah. Well, the last time that we played up at Sportsman's,
Oh yeah.
remember that?
Oh yeah. Well,
that-
not
that was
really.
great. Oh yeah, I guess. But since I just lived around the corner, I just was waiting on Johnny to tear down his keyboard, which takes forever. So I just started carrying drums home and started taking stuff. I'm like, fuck it, I can just walk around the corner. So I had it down to like all I had left was like the big stuff, and then that's when I had to wait for Johnny. But yeah, that was a pain in the ass, just back and forth. But I don't know. What were we
Sucks.
talking about? Oh yeah, girls in the bus.
Girls in the bus.
No, we made that rule actually a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back when we were younger. And
I think that rule always comes up that you keep the girlfriends and wives separate from
they
the band
they
thing.
can go to any show and do
Yeah.
anything, but like what we
The
always said
travel
is
thing.
their travel thing and our hotel rooms.
Yeah.
If the band pays for a room, that's the band's hotel room.
That makes sense.
You paid for it. You can go to any show you want, but you gotta get your own place to stay.
Yeah,
That's so
and,
strict, though. That's funny. It's just in the sense that it's the opposite of what most people think of, like what the rock and roll fantasy is, like the rock and roll fantasy.
Yeah, but
life.
you get out of that phase when you're 19 or 20. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to the best part of being on the road for us is getting back to the hotel and drinking beer, listening to music, and calling each other idiots, and
Sure.
you know what I mean. Like I'm way past the partying. You
Yeah.
want to go to a party? Nope.
Yeah,
I want to go sit in a hotel and listen to music I want to play
Yeah, exactly.
with my friends and hang out.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Like
when
when we
you
were in Halifax last,
Yeah.
we went back to our place and you and Brad come over and
Yeah.
just
hung out.
Stan was there and we just kind of laughed, had a good time. That's
It was great. Yeah.
my idea of an after party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know it is funny, and the thing too that happens is like it's the classic thing where you're in a town for a night, so it's there one night to party, and this is night one of however many, or it's night 3 of whatever. But the point being, like, I got drunk on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. I've been up till 5 a.m. and I woke up at 10 a.m. because I'm sleeping on somebody's couch.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody wakes up, everybody wakes up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
now we got to drive to Kingston
Yeah,
Yeah.
to Kingston to sit around all
day.
Yeah.
When can we load in? 7:30.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
Well, then you load in, and then maybe the sound guy's there, maybe he's not. So you get in, and then maybe you get to check at 9, and then you wait at least another 2 hours before you can play.
Yeah. And then do your 20-minute set, and then that's
Yeah.
it.
Is there any
Back to
beer
the top.
tickets? Nope, but you get staff price.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
We've only driven 18 hours. That's okay.
We had one of the worst shows ever in Kingston, and it was this guy, but he double booked us at, or he booked us this venue, and I don't know what happened. The venue's double booked.
Do you know what venue it was?
Was the
They double booked us at the one night with Battery
Really?
Point. Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to play upstairs, and then we got bumped downstairs, and then it got moved back upstairs because there was an early show. It was like a volunteer appreciation party for this festival, and their show ran 8 to 11, so we were going to go afterwards. We thought, great, they had a packed house, and it was funny because Catherine McCullum was there, Reg Balla was playing with her, so we like hung out with those guys. But anyway, so also we're staying at this promoter's house, and we get there before the show, and we're just like hanging out there. And he goes, "Oh yeah, this is your sound guy." And there's this like guy, his face is green. He's just sitting there with a bong in his hand on the couch, just huffing on it. It's like, "Hey guys," and we get a call, of course, half an hour before the other show is supposed to end. Like, yeah, sound guy's not feeling good. He's not going to make it. We'll figure something out. So then, anyway, the other show ends. Place clears out. Then we set up, and the sound guy starts tearing his mics down because they had their own sound guy, and so we played to 5 people. Classic. And I told some friends about that when it was the Sleepless Nights. So those guys were talking about it. When we got back to Halifax, we were complaining about it, and they said that they had a similar experience with the same guy, except they were there after the show at his house, and they were like, whenever he had this bong, they just passed it around, and he lit it up, and I think he had tobacco in it, and he lit it up, took a big haul, covered it, doesn't pass it, blows it out, takes another big haul. He stands up, runs to the sink, and pukes all over the place. That's Kingston, Ontario for me.
Kingston's actually really nice. We've had terrible luck in Kingston. Every show we play in Kingston, Winter Sleep's in town that night.
Oh, really?
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good night tonight. Well, Winter Sleep's playing 3 doors down.
Yeah, they'll have a good show.
Yeah.
Right on.
We did
Should we even do this?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
yeah,
man.
totally.
How many times have I had that? You're just like, why do we even bother doing this? There's
Yeah.
no point. No point at all.
We played Montreal once. Stevie Wonder was doing a free concert the same night.
Oh, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
And even the people that would be working the bar that you're playing at were like, oh, jeez.
I wish
can't
these
believe
guys
we got
would
him
fuck
here.
off so we
Yeah.
could go see
Stop.
Stevie
we
Wonder.
could shut down early. Get off the stage. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
All right, what else we got here for questions? So, as regards to drums, What made you guys decide to stick with the drums once you started playing them? Rather than, we talk about all of the hassle of playing the drums. Why did you do that instead of learning the flute or being a singer or whatever? Brady, you do sing.
Yeah. I just like playing drums.
Yeah.
And a band's always looking for drummers.
That's true. It seems like they're always looking for bass players.
And bass players.
Yeah.
That's how I fell into it, but I play the drums, I play the guitar too. Everybody plays the guitar. Nobody needs a rhythm guitar player. Everybody needs a drummer.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
That's true.
Yeah, they are fun.
That is true.
Yeah. It is the funnest instrument to play.
It's kind of like bass. Like Craig always said this too. There's only one of you.
Yeah.
So you get a bad drummer will make a good band shitty.
Exactly. Yeah.
And a good drummer will make a bad band good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that one. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to have that power and to set the pace, and you're making the asses shake in the crowd.
Yeah,
the drums.
exactly.
So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Josh Homme, or however you say his name, was talking that he was saying good drummer, good band, great drummer, classic band.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true, though. I don't know. I thought I would be a bass player when I was like 15, because I was like, fucking Nikki Sixx, man. Bobby from Poison. I'm going to be that guy. I'm the dark-haired guy. I hang out with a bunch of light-haired guys. I'm going to be that dark-haired bass player.
It's funny that would even make a difference. Like,
that's how I thought. I was like, that's it. Fuck it. I'm not going to play drums. They're too heavy and it's a pain in the ass
I
to lug
think
them
bass
around.
would be fun too.
Yeah,
To load,
exactly.
just to get there and be Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be unreal.
I'll pluck around on the bass every once in a while, but I don't really know. I wouldn't be able to say Brady, you get behind the drums. We're gonna do, I don't know, make up a couple of songs. I could jam around and kind of fuck around, but I could never be the bass player. You know what I mean? I could never do it.
You could, Mike,
as the bass player.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Brady. I guess we're gonna have to start a band.
It's
now.
never too late, Mike.
All right, fine. Then.
I've tried. This is the
Fine.
thing. It's easy to be a shitty bass player. It's hard to be a good bass player. I filled in one night on the bass with
You
this
played with
band.
us.
Yeah, I did. I played with you, and I was a shitty bass player in your band. But I know rhythm, and I could play roots, and it was okay for a while. But my lines, I learned other people's lines. I wasn't coming up with anything.
Yeah, we actually joined the band, and he said no.
What
Chamberlain.
band is- Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
He did a couple shows. He did some I forgot.
Yeah.
He's like, we played Halifax together. I'm like, what?
We played The Attic.
Wild.
Yeah.
And we played the Velvet Underground, and we played Hunters. I think I did 3 shows with you guys.
I remember
Crazy.
the Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
Out of the 3. That's great.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
And we asked him to join the band. He said no.
I was already
he said
like,
we were stupid.
no, it wasn't like that at all. I wasn't even supposed to be living in Charlottetown that year. My plan was always to move to Halifax in the fall. And then
I'm just giving you a hard time, Chicky.
What's that?
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, it's all
Wait
right,
a minute.
Brady.
You weren't supposed to
I'm
be
not
living in Charlottetown?
No,
What do you
I
mean?
got.
They're like, no, if you're here after sundown.
And here.
Oh, it wasn't
Sleepy
that they weren't running me out of town, but I got a open liquor fine and I got a seatbelt fine within the same week.
Ooh,
and I also my house when I moved out of at St. FX, we just didn't clean it. And I was always the guy nagging my roommate to clean the house. And he didn't want to do it. And finally I was like, whatever, I don't care. We're moving out. I don't care. If you don't want to clean it, you don't clean it. Forgetting there's a clause in the lease that's had a list of this isn't cleaned, costs $100. This isn't cleaned, it costs $50. And so we owed $500 each. So I had $1,200 worth of fines.
Right.
So there's no way I'm moving. I gotta not quit my job and I gotta save money. That's how I wound up living and moving in with Brad in the first place. Because the rent was so cheap. I had my own place. I had a bachelor apartment, $400 a month above Churchill Arms. It was my own place, and I moved in with Brad and Crow, and it was $290,
Crazy.
everything included. Yeah,
Wild.
yeah. But yeah, and that's when we started hanging out, and so it was I was always supposed to move over there. And
It's just hard to find guys you like to play with.
Well, that's
and then you
just-
get a guy
It
and then
is.
we're like, Chicky, be perfect.
Yeah, I know it is. I told the other guys in my band, they're like, they were gonna kick me out. I was already playing drums with them, And they're like, if you do that, you're out. We're finding somebody else. So it's like I couldn't give up my one gig I already had to be a bass player, But there you go. I wasn't going to give up my drum gig to be a bass player is what it came down to.
In the whole timeline in Chamberlain, when was that? Was it
very end?
Oh, okay.
After Malcolm?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
That's why you guys needed a bass player.
And then we got Prot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, musical bass players.
But it was going to be Chicky.
Yeah. The thing is, I think I can...
What could have been?
I can play rhythm. I can't play lines. I filled in one night at an open mic in St. John on bass and was just brutal. Because I can't play lines. And if the song is a little bit weird, I don't know where the notes are.
Yeah.
Like, well enough.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
No, it's not your instrument. It's not my instrument.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But you can play guitar too, right?
Like I use play lightly. I have a guitar.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen I was watching last night YouTube videos of Van Halen, like on doing network like television broadcasts and stuff, and they're on an Italian variety show, and David Lee Roth has an electric guitar, and they're doing Unchained. And like
there's no way Dave Lee Roth can play Unchained.
Well, no, they're miming the whole time, but he's doing the whole like the Barbie hand style guitar playing. Like you're just like, oh, what? Why does he have a guitar? This doesn't make any sense.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do you play guitar?
No, I can't play guitar at all.
Like I know,
I can do power chords.
I know some chords, but like,
yeah,
I couldn't. I can play a couple tunes, but
no, like if you were to hand me a guitar right now, I wouldn't be able to play it.
Looks around the room for a guitar.
There's one right there.
Man.
What's funny about that too is like nobody expects David Lee Roth to play guitar.
Yeah, well,
his
right?
thing is to jump around.
He
and do
can
the splits
barely
in the air.
sing. Like he can barely sing.
Oh man. Yeah.
And the
it's
guitar
brutal.
player that's already in the band is the best guitar player of the decade.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it was just weird to see it because it started up and you can tell that they're lip syncing and faking it the whole time, and they're like talking in Italian. Oh, Van Halen, hey, Unchained.
Was that the link you posted last night?
No, it was like 2 links after that. I just got in. I got stuck in a Van Halen loop last night. It was like 12 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta watch one more. But
Are you a Sammy or Dave?
Dave, definitely a Dave.
See, I like Sammy.
But see, the thing is, in the last couple of years, I've been listening to classic metal radio. It's a radio station online, and I've been hearing the Van Hagar stuff, and man, it's good.
It's really good, man.
The only thing about it though is that I find that the stuff is a little too like kind of like heavy metal romantic songs, like some of like the the
Can't Stop Loving You,
the light and
So I get
and
that.
the silken gown.
He's just so good though. Like,
But yeah,
and
the
he's so
power.
good live.
Yeah.
and you see him now. Like you see Van Halen now with David Lee Roth. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's kind of.
And then Sammy's out there, almost 70,
yeah.
just belting the shit out.
Yeah. Have you seen the interview that he did with Dan? Is it Dan Rather? I think it was just like a couple of years ago.
And he's in his. He takes him for a rip in his car.
In that car, man. Yeah, that was a great interview. Like, just kind of cool how he's just so humble and just a normal dude.
There's
like,
actually a clip you got to see online. They're doing a TV thing at 10 in the morning. It's for maybe the 5150. I was Dreams Off 5150.
I think so.
And it's 10 in the morning, and they're in a studio, and they rip out Dreams. And Sammy's just screaming his head off, and it's just incredible.
Wild. That's awesome.
I'll try to find it and send it to you.
I'd like to see that for sure.
So wait a minute, is he playing with them now?
No, Dave is back.
David Lee
now.
Roth
Dave's
is
back.
since like kind of the most recent album with Wolfgang on the bass.
Yeah.
But like, and I love Van Halen, but like
man.
when you see them live now, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well,
anybody
yeah.
not listen to this? Like,
No, yeah.
he's destroying
It's-
a classic
It's bad. It is really bad.
Haven't seen any of that.
Destroying a
Have you
classic
guys
that he
seen?
wrote.
that he wrote.
Yeah.
Burn Down the Avenue.
Well, have you seen his? He did like a bluegrass album, right? Did you see any of that stuff?
What?
He did the talk show circuit. It's all on YouTube. Yeah, I don't remember how I found it. But David Lee Roth, because he quit, he became
And
a
he did Van
paramedic
Halen
or
songs,
something?
right?
Yeah, he did Van
Bluegrass.
Halen
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. I remember hearing Panama, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. I've never heard
Yeah,
that.
he became like
like that
paramedic
Pick'em.
Yeah.
in New
Wow.
York City.
Yeah,
Like
he's
full
talking
on
about that.
EMT.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
yes.
funny because even when he's just up there talking to the host, he's still very much like he's David Lee Roth. He's
Yeah.
the lead singer. He's like,
Yeah, it's permanent personality. The showman all the time.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, weird. So is Sammy Hagar a solo artist now?
He's with
he
Mike
was
Anthony.
before and
Yeah,
after.
Chickenfoot.
With
That's-
Chickenfoot, and he has
Oh,
a
they're
new
doing
band
that
called the
band.
Circle.
The
with
Circle.
Jason Bonham, Mike Anthony, Sammy Hagar, and like Sammy's Cobble Wobble guitar player, the Vic guy.
Oh, okay. Crazy.
And they play like just like Van Halen and Sammy tunes and
Oh, nice.
some fucking Zeppelin.
Some of that Sammy Hagar stuff from like Voice of America, that record. Oh my
Well, he was
God, so
huge
good.
before Van Halen. Like,
yeah, I Can't Drive 55, right?
Well, he was in Montrose.
Yeah,
too,
he was in
right?
Montrose, too.
Montrose.
And David Lee Roth even said that he wished, or he wanted Van Halen to be like Montrose, like the Sammy Hagar era, like when he was in that band. So
Really?
kind of interesting how the change happened. But I heard a crazy thing about Alex Van Halen, that he had plywood inside the bass drums with triggers on them for like the 1984 album, I think it was. So it's all the drums. If you ever listen to the bass drums and those records are just ridiculous. It's all just triggered to fuck. Like
Really? So
Yeah,
like Hot for
ridiculous.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for triggering drums.
Yeah? Really?
Oh yeah.
You're a bullshitter.
No, I'm
really?
serious,
Are
yeah.
you serious? Oh, okay. I just
the
always
new,
thought that you'd be more of like,
The new Royal North single coming out is all trigger drum.
really?
Like I played
Wow.
them,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
went back after the fact and triggered them.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Well, that's what I grew up like Tommy Lee and all that stuff
Yeah.
triggered.
So
Yeah.
what'd you do? You just kind of boost up some of the tones and stuff, or
I
just?
guess I didn't do it. Colin began to.
Oh, yeah. So
Like I don't
whatever
do it on my drums. Like I mic my drums up.
Okay, and then they ran it through a.
Then I guess
Something.
they either maybe mix them together or I don't know what the fuck.
Wow.
It sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
my-
Whatever they did,
Wow,
it sounds
cool.
great.
I don't
cool.
know how it's done either. My brother though was into it, and what he will do is like digitally create a MIDI track. So it creates a MIDI track, and then you just put samples in
Oh, okay.
for the like whatever the MIDI signals are.
Oh,
It's all
alright.
played. It's
Yeah.
just the actual sounds are triggered.
Triggering. Oh, wild. So it'll be like whenever you hear the bass drum, it'll be like, yeah. And then this
Exactly.
Will be, it'll be like, yeah.
It just I find it so hard to get nice drum sounds locally. Like on local records, that's always what lacks is the drums.
The room sound,
that's
yeah,
true.
because you can run guitars direct and you can beef them up. And-
Well, that's the thing too, right? Like if you want to have your
Drum
song
sound.
on the radio, sorry to interrupt,
No.
but if you want to have your songs on the radio, you need the drums to sound a certain way. You need the instruments to sound a certain way. And it might not be what you want your stuff to sound like, but that's the industry standard, I suppose.
I'm all for that, man. Make
Yeah.
them sound as good as we can get them.
yeah,
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Now, if someone said we're going to bring in somebody else, I'd be like, well, let's wait here a little bit and see.
I don't know.
how do you guys feel about being quantized? Do you have a problem with that?
I don't know what that is.
I always hated it. So it's like you record your drums, and then if it speeds up or slows down, it gets snapped to the grid.
Oh, no. Jeez, I'd be the worst for that.
I hate
don't know.
playing
I
to
never,
click tracks.
No,
Yeah.
click tracks.
I don't mind it
But-
because I had to do it a lot. When I was in school, I had to do it a lot, play to click a lot. So whatever, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
I do speed up and slow down against it though, and I hate somebody going in and snapping stuff.
That's
Even
wild.
though if I
Yeah.
record on my own, I will do that because it's like you feel like you want to fix it.
Yeah.
But I think I don't like when somebody else does it to me. And I don't think that we need it as humans.
No, well, that's just it, right? You got to think back to like any classic record song
Yeah.
that you know and that you love the drum part for, or whatever. There's no one going, let's adjust this. Just
I
a
know
touch,"
because it doesn't
you know?
matter. It just
Yeah.
like feels
It's-
After the
Yeah,
solo,
exactly.
after
Yeah.
the solo going to that last chorus, it should fucking pick up a little
Well,
bit.
it's
Yeah,
bound to happen.
yeah.
There's no way that you're going to slow down during a guitar solo.
But
It's-
I understand why engineers and producers like the click track because it makes it a lot easier on
if you're doing
editing
edits
and
edits,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I understand. I would just rather not do it.
I agree.
Did you use click at all for this record? Or
No,
the last few.
Really?
no.
That's cool.
I only clicked one album, the second
Yeah.
Chamberlain record we clicked.
Oh, okay.
And there's some spots where it feels like it's just dragging.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
my God. And I know it's in time, but it's just
Yeah.
like, it's not, it just bothers me.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can't speed up because then you'll lose the click. That's the problem. It's like you
Yeah.
feel like you want to give some energy, or the classic thing where you play a fill and you speed up during the fill, and then you come back, you're like, shit, now I'm ahead of it.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
I gotta
exactly.
drag it back for a minute
Yeah.
till it hits again. I
Till
know.
you- yeah.
But like, it kind of feels
That's
like
rough.
it takes the whole like natural swing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It takes the life
Like you
out of it
listen to like
altogether.
Back in Black or Jungle or something like that, and
Yeah.
like the whole swing of that song, they're not clicked.
No,
No.
not at all. No, that's true. Good point. The Who?
Yeah, like that's
You know.
classic tunes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have a theory. I was listening to whatever. I was like hanging out at my parents' place last night. My mom had like Marvin Gaye and stuff on, just about like 70s like kind of soul music. And you know, as much as like people complain about like real instruments versus electronic instruments, and I think there's some good in both and some bad in both too. I've seen lots of terrible bands. You know, playing real instruments is no guarantee that you'll be any good. But I think there's something about that. Just as a human, you like that. Like, if it's in the moment, you're playing it in the moment. You can't fix it. There's a little bit. It's a little bit risky. There's like the possibility that you could screw it up. And I think that that's part of the appeal of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, well, compared to using like a synthetic.
Yeah, just compared to like going in and making sure everything's perfect.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I prefer those records where you can hear someone's bracelet jingling when they're about to do the background vocals in a part, or the squeak of the bass drum pedal. Everyone knows about the Led Zeppelin song where you can hear the pedal squeak. Or like, you know, just anything like that, like those weird little bits where it's like, oh, that's not supposed to be in there, but it's in there. That little bit of personality, it's great. Like,
yeah, because you can't punch in a drum track. Even now, you can't punch in a drum track very well.
Yeah, exactly. That's something going horribly wrong.
Yeah, the rooms it's just like being totally weird, right?
Yeah, it just
like
doesn't work.
the cymbal should still be ringing, but all of a sudden it's not or something. You can hear that right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I've never actually did a lot of like editing where it's like punching in parts. Like, let's go back to the beginning of the chorus because of this or something like that. It's usually just if we made it through the whole song and everyone's happy with
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah, what'd you think?
Are you happy with that? Yep.
Not really, but if you guys played well and you like it, fine.
I
think it's like both Haunted Hearts records are like that. I think there's parts where I was just like, God, I don't know. Johnny played really good in it. All right, well, we'll keep it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Next.
Oh, yeah, I always hate any recording I've ever done. I always hate it.
I never listen to any of my stuff.
Yeah, I always hate them.
I never listen to my recordings like after it's done.
Even like to go back and play gigs?
Well, no. Like even to go play gigs, there's never any rehearsals or anything like that.
Like when we did that Battery Point set for Lloyd's Doyle's thing.
Yeah.
It was 9 years since we played some of those songs. So to go back and listen to them, it was like, A, it's like this record sounds like shit.
Yeah.
And B, why did I do that?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I heard some of, I think it was the second Eyes for Telescopes record, Sounds Around Us. And I was just like, man, Jesus, what the hell was I thinking? Like in some of those parts, like I play it better now because now I'm looking back on it, you know, the hindsight, of course. You're like, well, why would I do this? When I should just go, boom, just leave it at that. But yeah, I try not to listen to any of that
You
stuff.
recorded all those records too, didn't you?
I didn't. We did that one at Reg's studio, but the first one was done at my house on Costello Lane, like downtown.
And you didn't record it?
No, I didn't record it. I think we used my 4-track for it though.
Did you do reel to reel that one?
Yeah, 8-track reel to reel. That's right. Chris Corrigan, I think, helped us with that one. And then the third one, I did the mixing for it, aptly titled Third. But yeah, I did the psychedelic mix for that. If you ever,
Nice.
you ever hear that one, it's like, oh, fuck. There's actually one song where my bass drum pedal came off the bass drum, and it worked out. It was in a part of the song where there's not really too much going on, so the drums stop kind of anyways. And so here I am, like, I just leave it recording. So I'm down there trying to fix my pedal, put it back together, and so where the drums stop, I just cranked up a delay pedal, like during the mix, so it kind of goes. There's this whole big
cool.
echo.
Sounds like an
it
effect.
totally works, and then it's almost like as if I meant to do that,
Right.
which I did.
If anyone asks.
If anyone asks. But yeah, it worked out perfect. But yeah, I did the mixing for that one. And that was kind of it. But I've always liked doing that kind of stuff, being involved with the recording and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What did you
Didn't do
use
it
to mix it? Like what?
I went to James Phillips and Troy MacArthur's place. That was like somewhere up west.
Sons of Horse? Is that what it was?
Don't call them that.
That's what their studio
No, I think they had like a little.
Where was that though? Was it
up west somewhere? But
Yeah,
I
it was
can't
like
remember where it
was that
was.
Mount
or
Carmel?
something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was a nice studio, wasn't it?
I don't really remember. I think I showed up basically just to do the mixing, and everyone had already finished all the recording and all that kind of stuff. And I just kind of sat in the room with the board and them, and they kind of said, "This is for that, and this is for this," and that was it. But yeah, we didn't really do any tracking up there other than the vocals. So yeah, nice.
Port Citizen Boys did a record up there.
It was a nice room. They did.
And the Room
who was
Mechanicals
that?
did their second record up there, too. It was James Carrier, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. Yeah, Port Citizen. I think I was involved with the Port Citizen recording.
You did the percussion on that.
Yeah, that was up in... Was it Mount Carmel?
That was Mount Carmel.
Can't remember who had that studio, though.
It was James Carrier, I think. I have the record here. I should just get it.
I don't know if it was his studio, though.
Oh.
There was a studio up there called like Studio. I don't even know how you say it. Baobab.
That's
Baobab.
it. Yeah, that's it. Who
Was that the same place? Did they buy it and change the name or something, or was it a different studio?
I think it was a different place.
Okay.
But when I did the Port Citizen record, I think it was done there, but James was involved with the production of it. Big open room. Kind of left to my own devices. That was always fun.
Right.
The Port
Neat.
Citizen stuff. They're like, well, here, we recorded all this, so what do you want to do? I'm like, I'll just go nuts and bang around.
And would that have been a digital recording, or did you do it to tape?
I think it might have been digital.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Is that you got a picture of the studio?
No, just...
That's the Port Citizen CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. I used to have a good time playing with those guys.
Yeah.
It was always...
I bought that CD in Canmore, Alberta. I was at a used CD store.
Really?
And yeah.
That's kind of weird. I always get a kick out of like going into Valley Village or something and looking through the CDs, and it's like, oh, hey, look at that. I'm on that record.
It's not even open.
It's not even open. $2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
man.
on.
Come on.
That's a funny one, just in terms of the, like, how organized have you guys ever been in terms of you can drop your CDs off or whatever, your records for consignment at different shops,
Yeah.
but it's up to you to keep on top of them. You know what I mean?
I've never had anything to do with any of that stuff.
Oh,
I'm
we've
always the
done
worst.
it like all over the Maritimes. I think I got CDs in every CD store in the Maritimes. Did I ever call them and make sure they were sold? Or like I probably got, $20 here, $15 there.
Not anymore.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Well, probably not. No, now. And it doesn't, it's kind of water under the bridge, but
Drop off a box of 50
yeah,
CDs.
I don't know. Are you guys on top of that stuff?
I'm never involved with that stuff.
Yeah.
We've never done it really more than just around here.
Yeah.
For that reason. When you can't go check. Or,
Yeah, well, that's
if
just
you're
it,
in
right?
Moncton, you might drop off 4 or something. But
Yeah.
you'd never get the money.
Well, and
Well,
who's
they
going to
never
buy
sell.
them anyway?
Yeah.
If
This
you're
is
not
it.
a band that people have heard of, you don't play there a lot, like who's buying them?
Yeah, no one's walking into a record store just going, oh, I wonder who this is.
Yeah.
I'll just, $25. Yeah, why not?
Out of everything that's here.
exactly.
Yeah.
I know that I really like that band over there, but I'm going to just buy this. I don't even know who this could be.
Yeah,
This might be terrible.
might be great.
I'm aiming for terrible.
Probably not great. Probably the recording is not as good as that band you like.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They're figuring it out. Maybe they could use the sale.
Maybe the next one will be better if you
Yeah.
buy this one. They'll use that money towards getting it.
Then you get it like, these guys suck.
Yeah. What a waste. Why did I buy
We got a
this?
new coaster, boys.
Oh
exactly.
man, like that first I don't know, like not to talk too much shit, but Bucket Truck. Did you guys hear that first Bucket Truck album? I remember we saw that band. I went to Somersault 98 at the Shediac Can-Am Speedway, and Bucket Truck played, and they're like, this heavy band from Newfoundland. We're like, whoa, crazy. Bought their record, and it was terrible. And it was the sound of the recording. There was like no reverb on anything. It was just this super dry. Sounded like they recorded the guitars direct. The drums had no presence at all. I think they fixed it with later recordings, but that first one. And it was weird too. Like they didn't know if they were a jam band or a heavy band or what. So one with Rocket Mobile on it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those guys at there was a bar that was upstairs of like was it the attic? No, it wasn't the attic. Was there a bar called the Attic in Halifax?
Yeah. Top
And-
floor of the Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played there, and it was weird to watch them because they were totally mellow and cool, and everything was fine. And then like 1, 2, 3, 4, whoa! They're just kind of like these maniacs.
Yeah.
But then once the song was over, it was like, yeah, okay, everything's cool, we're fine. Hi.
Oh yeah,
How are you?
I loved the show.
Hi, we're Bucket Truck. How are you doing? It's like, what the
That would have been you guys in Flush, probably.
yeah, it was actually. I broke one of my favorite cymbals that night. Fucking sons of bitches. Took it out of the case. It was freezing cold. Hit it, and it split in two.
Oh no.
Brutal.
Then you just want to leave.
Then it's like, fuck.
Night's over.
Yeah, another 43 minutes left to go.
How am I going to come up with another $250 to replace that?
Yeah, exactly. How am I not going to hit the cymbal anymore tonight? And then you hit it every damn time. Don't hit that cymbal. It's cracked, Mike. Okay, Mike. Hit it. Cracked it a little bit more.
It's already broken though.
Why did you break that? I don't know. I just broke it. I might as well hit it again. Yeah, why not?
Will you guys use broken cymbals? Like after they're broke?
Yeah, depending on what it is. I have a couple cracked ones that I have these hi-hats that sound great, so I use them for recording. And the crack only gets worse. Like it's cracked around the bell. So it's just like they're old Zildjians.
Do you ever drill? You're supposed to do the drill.
No, I've never done it because I heard it changes the sound and whatever.
Well, they're already broken.
Yeah. These still sound good. It's the thing. I've cracked a crash cymbal and it adds like a shh to it.
Yeah, it's got the sizzle.
Yeah.
You don't have to add the bathtub chain to it anymore.
Right. Yeah. In that case, I don't like it, but those hi-hats I use. You guys, you use them?
I
drill them?
I'll give it a drill sometimes, or I'll just let it go if it's only like a little tiny thing. But I think there's a ride cymbal that I used on the first Haunted Hearts record that's got a 1-inch crack in it, kind of coming up, and it's slowly grown. But it changed the sound, made it like sizzle, but it also just dies. It's got this weird decay on it. And then I also have a AA China that it's split around like the hump, like when it the hump. I don't know how to describe it, but like the first lip of the China, it's split about 4 inches all the way around it, and it sounds like a gong. It's really weird. It doesn't have like a trashy sound to it. It's like this beautiful gong sound. It's really weird. It sounds more gongy than my gong.
How big's your gong?
well. Funny you should mention that. 28. It's a 28-inch. It's the old Zildjian style. It's got a hole in the center so you can put it on a cymbal stand, and then the edge curls around, so it's like if you turned it over, it's like a bowl basically.
That's cool as hell, man.
It's fucking nice. It's pretty awesome.
Do you have it mounted on the frame, like with the?
Well, I got it from a guy in Halifax, and he made his own frame, like the round part, and then he had it like on the bottom part of a snare drum stand. Yeah. So it's only probably about that high, which is great if you're sitting down. I don't know if you can see this. But then, I just use an old cymbal stand, so it's up to like a normal height, and it works. But I'd like to get like an actual gong stand
set up behind you.
Yeah, for that.
Even just have the look of it.
Fake band that I play in. I need that. Yeah, I've used it once actually. The Hearts played at the Hunters one time, and I used it, and I wound up using my elbow, hitting it with my elbow for most of it. Just creates a nice low roar, and then you can play it with your stick too, so it makes a nice kind of ride sound.
That's cool as hell, man.
Yeah,
I always wanted to have
cool.
one of those, but they're just
awesome.
Like, unless you find one,
you're
not going to order one in. Like, let me get a gong here today, Long McQuaid.
What do I need? Well, that's just it. I've always had like the checklist, and it's like the Iron Maiden drum set had it. Timpani got one for free. Gong, well, there's one on Kijiji. I'm going to buy it. So now I've got my checklist is done. Vista lights, had them. So I've gotten everything kind of covered.
Yeah.
So
your Vista light kit was really nice. It sounded great.
Yeah, that was an awesome drum set. That was another one of those ones where it's like
I had the Pearl Vista lights.
Yeah.
And they didn't sound near as nice as yours.
Really?
The kick drum was great, but the rack toms just didn't have. Like yours sounded amazing.
Those things, they have a good projection to them just because of the way that the shells are. So weird. Yeah, that was a great set. Yeah, that was owned by Dave from Haywire. That was his old Vista Light kit.
Really?
Yeah.
The original drummer from Haywire?
Yeah. He had them for, I guess he had them just kicking around in his basement or something like that.
You mean Sean, or Dave Rashid?
Yeah, Dave Rashid. They were his, and then I bought them off of, I guess, his brother. Or a cousin. I don't know. He was away.
And then you sold them to Derek Ellis.
And I sold them, and I don't know what happened to them after that. I saw them one time at a show at Hunters, and I think it was one of those nights where it was like North Lakes and 3 other bands, and the drum set was there, and it was missing the front head, and that's the last I've ever seen of it, so I don't know whatever happened to that drum set.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did his cousin wind up selling them to you?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Right.
I think he was away.
Don't ask too many questions.
Yes, that's one of those ones we'll just leave. But We'll just unplug this microphone right now. I continue this.
Dave, I know where your Vista lights went.
Yeah, exactly. There was a great sounding drum set. Super dead, but still had a good bit of life to them.
Yeah.
There was no nothing inside the bass drum at all. It was just a matter of buying the right heads. You get the right heads that are dead enough and already have the rings built into them and all that. So it's nice and clean looking. Look great. Wish I still had those.
Cool.
Fuck. Next. This is terrible.
Uh-oh. All right, what else do I
We'll
got?
put an ad on Kijiji looking for those.
What else we got? How structured is your practice routine?
Not. Non-existent.
Good. Mine is not structured either.
Wednesdays,
I know how to.
when the band gets together.
That's the only time I sit behind the drums is when I'm playing or recording. Like,
Yeah.
I never.
I wish I played more,
Yeah, me too.
but it's so fucking hard. Like, what are you going to... I can't take them to my house.
yeah.
Like, I have no place to put them.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just it. Yeah. Like the intention's always there of like, oh yeah, I could set up a kit over here in the corner. It'd be perfect. Next thing you know, there's a chair there, or you're moving into a 1-bedroom apartment and you can just stack everything and that's the end of it. It's kind of, it would be great.
Well, the flip side of it too, though, is like, do you wish that you were better at anything, or does it matter? Are you kind of good enough? Are you satisfied with kind of where your level is at?
I wish I was better at double bass drums.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I wish I could just I could freaking slayer it out all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to be able
Would
to
you
do that.
play 2 kick drums or double pedals?
Well, I have a double pedal, but for convenience sake. But yes, I definitely have the double.
I
bass
had a double
drums.
bass drum kit.
That's right. This is the chrome ones, right?
I got rid of it, but I had it. It was awesome.
Did you use them? Did
I
you
used
ever-
them. Fuck yeah, I used them. The thing is, though, is they were impossible for stages.
Yeah, well, that's
You get 5 guys in a band, and like I have these 2 kick drums. I'm like, using them, boys. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, back in the van.
Damn it. Yeah, really, right? That's just it. Yeah, it's a convenience thing. But yeah, I wish
They look badass.
I
it
love
looks
playing
fucking
double
killer,
kicks, but I
man.
have no reason to. Like,
Yeah. It's just fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
I don't know if you ever saw, there was a picture that I had on Facebook where I was just setting up bizarre drum sets like once a week.
Yeah.
And I had the 2 marching bass drums, which Brady now owns one of them, and like 2 Slingerland concert toms and a couple of floor toms and just like this ridiculous 80s metal drum kit.
Yeah.
And they sounded so fucking
I
great.
realized
man.
that those
It
were
was so good.
your drums. I
Yeah,
thought
man.
that was just a picture.
Yeah, no, those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the collection at that time.
Whoa.
Just like stacks and stacks of stuff. So I just set up a different weird drum set like
Yeah.
every week.
Cool.
But yeah, I think if I could have a space where I could practice and stuff, I think that's what I'd be working on the double kickers. So
Yeah.
that I could.
Because I find that the thing is, like, it's easy to be motivated to practice if there's something that you want to get good at. But at a certain point, if you're good enough for what you do, then you kind of, I don't know. Do you care?
I find it hard after playing in a band though for so long. I'm not going to sit down behind the drums and just play.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
like you do
yeah.
for a half hour, and you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Yeah, I do that too.
I'm not
And
one of
it's
those
like a
guys
half
that's
hour.
like, I'm going to practice my flamadiddles. I don't know anything of those. Like, I'm not that type of
Well,
technical
this
player.
is it. Like, do you want to be Dave Weckl or something? Because you can go and there's like guys all over YouTube or whatever who
Yeah.
are good at that stuff. And
Yeah.
but does that matter to anyone other than them and like other drummers like that?
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't see the... Like, it's amazing. It's like, wow, your hands are so fast. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I know, I
Or like,
can't do that.
amazingly fast feet. That's amazing too. But like, put that in like an actual context. Like, play in a band and do all that stuff within a 4-minute song or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, well, I can sit around and do this for 3 months and then make a video of it. It's like, okay, well,
That's
there you
kind
go.
of what it's good for. Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Light your sticks on fire while you twirl
Yeah,
them.
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's almost like too, like guitar players play leads, sit down in the room, blah, 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 and
Yeah.
shred. Then you put them in a band, they can't play a rhythm to hold to save their
Yeah,
life.
they can't.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, what the fuck is the good of being able to go
Yeah.
3,000 miles an hour if you can't play in a band?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think with me, it's like I'm cool with what I can do.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is that I don't think about what I'm doing,
Yeah.
even when I'm doing it.
Right.
So it's never quite the same twice anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could sit down and go, okay, I'm going to chart out my ideas and how I play this song, because compared to the recording and how I've played it over the years,
Yeah.
it's nowhere near. Like, it's just never the same.
Sure.
So
And-
I think if I did rehearse, it would just be weird. It would take the life out of it.
Take the spontaneity or
Yeah,
whatever. out of it,
exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, kind of weird. I couldn't think of like being a drummer and going, okay, I'm going to practice for half an hour to what? You know what I mean? Singing songs in your head and playing along to songs in your head, I guess.
Beep.
Yeah,
beep,
exactly,
Beep.
right?
It's like, that's no fun.
Then
Oh,
it
I
comes
know.
back to the click track thing. Like, who wants to play along to a cowbell for half an hour?
It's easy to not get around to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I was at Valley Village actually a couple of days ago looking around. There's 2 practice pads. I'm like, oh, hey, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's got a good rebound on it. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, $5. Go around the corner. Oh, there's another one. It's a bigger one. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of a tighter. It almost sounds like a marching snare kind of sound to it. Oh, 15. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, let's go look, see if there's any cool socks.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be great to have bought one of those, and
Yeah.
I could have like brought it home and kind of whacked around in the sticks.
But
instead
what
of-
you do is you'd bring it home and never play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I never take the tag off of it. That's my thing. If I ever buy it at Valley Village, I always leave the sticker on it. So yeah, I'd have a practice pad that would wind up going back to Valley Village in a couple of months, whenever I'm cleaning the place out.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't. There is one time that I did actually sit down and go, okay, I'm going to sit behind the drums and I'm just going to play. And I played along with Iron Butterfly's Heavy, that
Okay.
record.
I don't
And
know.
it's I think it's the record before Inagata Devita. And the drum parts in it are really cool. And I just remember putting on the headphones, sitting down at my mom's basement and playing along to it for like the album. I think I did it once. And then I was like, all right,
Got to tear all these
Done.
down now.
Mom, make me a sandwich. That was the end of that. You know, it was just like, well, I did it. You know, it was just to do it kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, that'd be fun to play along with. But I wouldn't go, all right, I got to create some tracks here with my sampling pad and I'm going to make up my drums and play along with this and
Right.
work on my chops and my.
Sure.
You know,
and like when
just-
you're
just
younger
do
and
it.
when you're learning, that's a thing that you'll do because you want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're
exactly.
younger, you don't have life either.
That's true.
Yeah,
No,
that
that's
is true.
You're not married and working and
Yeah.
have band practice and
Exactly.
kids and
Yeah, there's nothing you got to do except go hang out in the basement and annoy people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just play drums and masturbate. Now,
and the only thing Mike doesn't do now is play drums.
you bet me to it. Son of a bitch.
That might be plenty of stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think you missed a bunch.
Missed a bunch?
Yeah.
What do you feel like? What do you feel is missing, Mike?
I don't know. Nothing. I think everything's there.
I
I don't know. Brady?
Oh, I thought it was pretty fun.
Do you wanna
Yeah.
should we ask him some questions?
Uh-oh. It's not how this
Turn
works.
the table. Well, you're going to have to do one on yourself eventually anyways,
Yeah.
right?
I do have a couple questions here that I guess I didn't get to. One is, what are you listening to these days? What is inspiring you these days? And a lot of the other stuff, I think that we kind of got to sort of
In a roundabout way.
yeah. Or what were early bands like? What has playing the drums? Where has that taken you in life?
Full-time day job.
But it is kind of, I got to a point where I realized it's, 9 years into my band not making any money. You're like, it's just, I get to do stuff. That's what it's
Yeah.
good.
We went to
right.
like England
Yeah.
Yeah. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
to play drums for a half hour.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
But like I didn't pay for any of it. I got
No.
drunk as hell in England with Megan fucking Blanchard on a Saturday
yeah.
night, and oh my god,
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, we did that too. And it's funny. Exactly. It's for a half hour.
and like,
You
you
come
get to see
home,
like you guys were out in the road and got to go out and see Canada.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
you make a lot. It's not like sports music where
Yeah.
like you make friends and there's no competition. Like
Yeah.
No.
let's get great shows and. Like that's one thing about this scene. Like when I started playing with like Eyes and the Mechanicals or Flush and Port Citizens, like we do great shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it wasn't like can't play with those guys because
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't wear the kind of jeans that we wear.
and then it kind of changed to where there was cliques.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing that
that's
I
the
always
thing.
found too, being out, because our band, when we started playing around Halifax, was like musicians always loved us. We always got along with everybody. You play shows. Fans didn't know what to make of us. People who just go to
Yeah.
shows, they were weird about it. But like other musicians, there's no competition and there's no whatever the scene. Yeah, the scene doesn't matter because you're all doing the same thing.
Well, I always thought like if you're going to do a show, why not try to make the best night of music you fucking can?
Yeah.
Well, that's just it, right? Like that's why people are going out. They want to be entertained. They want to see something.
And like, it's no point having 3 of the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So to have like, you don't want to do it too drastic.
Yeah.
But like you have, like I like the nights where it's like there's this. Like what a great night of music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I think so too.
Close to the coast thing. Like
Yeah.
those nights were just jam packed full of great bands.
yeah, and not all the same.
Not all the
That's
same, and
great
everybody
thing,
went
too.
and had a great time, and
Yeah.
the place was packed.
If it's worth going to, if you're gonna bother going, like you should. I don't know. There's no. Why do you want to see the same band 3 times?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just people. Like people should be like, no, just go. Like I'm guilty of it as ever now. But when we were kids, we were out every night.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd go to a bar, like, let's just go see who's fucking playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and find some cool bands.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
no one goes anymore.
No,
Yeah.
it's
well,
not.
we were talking about that on the drive out.
Yeah.
here. It's just kind of weird.
People need a reason, or they just don't bother.
Yeah.
It's just too easy.
But
Not
I just
to.
don't understand. Like, there's no kid bands anymore. Like, no.
Well, I think what that is just the way that the generation's kind of growing up. See, Maisie's in junior high, so I know what's happening. I'm down with that scene. But
Yeah.
you know what it is? It's just that, they have their phone. And like everything's right there,
Man.
and everything's just disposable. So no one's actually going, "Hey, you know what? I should pick up a guitar and play in a band." It's like, well, I could get a sampler, or I could not do anything at all, and
It's just
sound
a
be
fucking
fun.
shame.
That's
It's a
it.
fucking shame.
It's one of those kind of things. It's really weird.
I couldn't wait to get school over with to get the guys together and go down to my
Oh,
my
yeah.
basement.
Oh, me
and-
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait. We
Yeah.
jammed every day after school.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, me too, for sure. And even just the thing of like going to a show and like to see that. I remember seeing Gob came to Summerside. It was the biggest thing that had ever happened.
Yeah.
We were so excited to see Gob.
Well, yeah, when I was in Strawberry, like back in the old, or like Sons of the Morning, which is even going back farther, but like playing the all ages shows at the barn, the UPEI. Yeah, it'd be insane. And then you'd have like that weird prog rock band from St. John, Hemlock, and then you'd have Skinkeeper, which were playing like thrash metal, and then there'd be Strawberry, where we're like sitting on the floor and burning incense and handing out candies, and then and then Sons of the Morning would play. It was kind of like the grunge era kind of thing, so it was just all over the place. And then Flush would be playing, and Supercar and all those bands, and Still, like remember Still? Do you remember those guys? It was like Roger Carter, I think, was playing drums and Nigel was on guitar. But anyways, like, you'd have a great mix of all kinds of music. But
There's not
it's
even any
kinda sad.
shows anymore, all
No.
these shows.
No,
Which
that's
is a
it.
shame, man.
Yeah, it is a shame.
'Cause
They
a lot-
seem to exist. Like I find the real, like the hardcore scene. Well, there's a bit of that, and I don't know if it's just bands. Like I don't know if they have any fans. But it seems like to me, if anybody's keeping all ages shows alive, it's those guys.
But now it's
the
once a
punks.
month.
Yeah, the punk rock shows.
Like
and stuff.
before, it was once a week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To be show at least every 2 weeks, you go see a show.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's so many different bands that they all got to play. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's the thing. Like even going into the bar, like there'd be, say, 2 bands a night, but those 2 bands would be completely opposite of each other, or at least sort of different. You know what I mean? But it's just weird now. It's just like you just get your friend to come play, and the style's kind of the same, and some of the guys are the same. So it's like, oh, I'm going to put away this pedal because I play in this band, and then I use these 2 pedals for this band. Not to diss on you guys.
Oh, no.
I just realized that. You guys monopolize. You guys own the fucking Charlottetown scene.
Well-
Brady's in like 20 bands.
We work
Meanwhile-
hard, though. Like,
Meanwhile, I'm sitting around watching.
I just want to play. I just want to
Yeah.
play. I'd play every night if I could.
that's
Well, you
kind of
pretty
what it
well
has
do,
to come
though,
down to,
right? You're playing quite a bit.
Off the whole weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But no, I just love playing. I really
Yeah.
love it. Just getting out. And,
Well, that's the thing too. Like you want to do it. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, and that's how that's the reason why you're playing in the first place, is to be out there and to be doing it. It makes sense. Totally makes sense.
might as well go drink free beer than spend money on it.
sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
You'd rather be at your own show than somebody else's always.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's fucking shitty bands around.
Yeah.
Now, boys. There's nothing good. Nothing fucking good anymore.
No good. Ain't like it used to be.
Nothing like it used
But
to be.
it's what I find
It's
about
true.
that too, though, is that it's like you have to really want to get good, because then it's also harder if a band is not as whatever. If a band's not as motivated, who cares about them? But it's hard if people aren't turning out, bands aren't getting paid. Then it's hard for bands to get good because they can't afford to be playing whatever.
And I think also too, it's you kind of go, well, fuck, man. Like there was 7 people at so and so's show the other night, and they did all this campaigning and it was all over the place, and there was barely anybody there. Like, do you guys want to rehearse this week? Be like,
yeah, right.
Well, it doesn't matter. No one's going to be at the show anyways. I think that there's a lot of that
there's
mentality.
Nothing more heartbreaking than you put all this effort into something and then you show up and no one goes.
Well, that's the thing.
Or you put out a fucking album.
Yeah.
And then be like, can I get a copy of that? It's like, yeah, for $10.
Yeah,
exactly.
come on, it's 10. You're gonna spend that at Wendy's.
You do all this work and your friends want it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some friends they are. Brady.
It's like, holy
you
Jesus.
need to change your friends list.
Like all these CDs, all these local CDs I bought the launch. I have all your guys's. I have Support Citizen. Like I would buy the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how
it works.
It works.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's another thing now that like people's phones are their primary source of it, and you can't put a CD into a phone, so you don't buy the CD, and so it just takes that out of the equation. Yeah, you can buy it on Bandcamp. Yeah, you can buy it on iTunes. Usually, you don't have to though. So
there's some way around it.
Yeah.
There's always the way around it. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
with that downer.
That's a bummer.
Way to bring things down, chick. We're having such a good time laughing and stuff.
Such a
we should have stopped.
Now we just.
It's not my fault, man.
Now we're just talking like monotone. And
Yeah, everybody's sad.
everybody's sad.
But the thing is, though, but what it does come down to, though.
Fuck, I don't care, Brett. You can
No, you do it because you want to do it. You're still
I don't even bother.
Whatever. I
don't.
was at the record store, Mike, when I met you today.
Yeah.
You're like, I was worried when these guys moved in next door to me because I thought I'd be here open to close every day.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a record shop next door. I'm going to be up buying records all the time.
Yeah, you never get too far away from it. I still buy them.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
I was in there last week.
Yeah.
I live right next door to the place.
Really?
I've been there twice since they opened.
It's kind of cool. I like
it's great. It's great that it's there for sure.
And I didn't realize they had the coffee shop right in it too.
Vegan.
Is it? Yeah.
Wraps and stuff.
Okay.
Salads.
Yeah.
Steaks.
They do good business. Steaks. Portobello steaks.
I don't know. I think they just opened, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If enough people have been in.
Have you been in?
Not to the cafe thing, but I've been in to look at records. Maisie's getting into vinyl now, so
really, that's awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
What is she into?
It's hip hop.
That's what all young people are into. What does she listen to?
She's into like I don't even know what their names are, but like it's all kind of like the crazy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
Well, like Migos.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of them. I think there's like a couple artists that are kind of connected to that guy or that group.
They're a group.
I
think there's 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
From Atlanta.
See, I don't know enough about it. Kids these days, they're hip hop.
At least she's into music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the way I was thinking about it is that hip hop is our metal or hard rock. You know what I mean? Like back when we were her age, it would have been Guns N' Roses and Van Halen and Iron Maiden and
it
Slayer
kind of
and stuff
is,
like
yeah.
That, you know what I mean?
And
so
there's funny things like because I know like my parents were pretty strict about that stuff when I was a kid, and they're always worried about. Like, what's this going to, like, ruin your mind or whatever? Yeah. But part of it is when you're a kid, because I've, like, talked to kids, they're just like, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Yeah. It's like, it's not like, I believe everything that Slayer says now. Yeah. It's like, can you believe they're saying that? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's kind of weird. But that's how I look at it. It's just like...
I think it is, too. And they're, like, kind of the only ones... I think also my personal theory about hip hop is that genre of music has figured out a way to make money while everybody else was like, as much as like rock people were like into, like being rebellious and like, fuck the system. We're not making money. Like, fuck the label, whatever. Like they still needed the system and the label.
Yeah.
Whereas hip hop, started as an independent thing, but also as much you can dislike this also, but like so much of it is blatantly about making money.
Yeah.
And that, once people stop buying CDs and whatever, like those guys, Jay-Z is still going to figure out how to make money.
Yeah.
Like
sell headphones.
There you go.
But seriously,
It's true.
like last year, you know who the top earning artist in the U.S. was?
No.
Puffy.
Really?
P. Diddy.
Still?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even think he was making music anymore.
Right? Like, I don't think it was for music, but he's a musician, and he's the one that made the most money out of all the musicians.
That's nuts.
Like, Justin Bieber and The Weeknd were not that far behind, but he was still number one.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, because I know, having been in a band that was just like, we're not about the money, man. We're about the music.
Yeah.
And then
at the end of the night, how much did we make?
I know. $40?
Fuck, man, that doesn't even cover my tab.
Yeah.
We should start a rap band. Make $1 million.
Well, and it's not like you're instantly guaranteed, but I think within that music, because it's like, I've also seen, you know, there have been hip hop bands around here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
30 years maybe, I don't know. But the genre is not a guarantee that you're going to make it work, but I think within that genre of music, there have been people who are really upfront about the fact that they're into making money, and then when money got harder to make, they were the best at it.
Yeah.
And their genre music survived where a lot of other ones had trouble. I think rock music too got like wimpier and wimpier until nobody cared.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, it's, you guys are trying to save it for sure. I think you guys.
Well, no,
are,
I agree. Like, but that was part of the thrill of those '80s bands. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Like, you know, it's not all about doing drugs and all that stuff, but you have to have some little bit of edge.
Gotta
to
be
you. Like,
exciting.
You gotta
Exactly.
be
It's gotta be
exciting
exciting.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can hear it. You can hear it in the music, or you can see it in their eyes when you see the photos of the guys. You're just like, these guys are just fucking
You go
doing
see
it to
fucking
do it.
Kiss, and like, what are they going to blow up now?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You know, Gene Simmons out spitting blood, and fucking Ace guitar goes on fire. Like, you know, like, that's crazy shit.
Yeah, that's the thrill of it.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
And Van Halen, you don't know what Dave's going to do.
We love you, people. That's my favorite. Well, that's just it. Like, I saw a concert of Van Halen. It was on YouTube a couple of weeks ago. I think it's from like 82 or 83. And it's like just a sea of people. It's just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
he's out there just like fucking all show. And they were terrible. Like, one of, like, at their biggest, you know, 83, I think it was. So it's just before event, like 84 obviously happened. But they're playing some of the songs that were going to be on 1984. And, but yeah, they're just terrible. Like, missing cues, and just like, no one seemed to be paying attention to each other at all. But still, it was just fucking awesome to watch them, like, just do their show. They're just amazing.
The whole internet thing really fucked the thing up too, because like back then, is Van Halen came to town, you went to see them.
Yeah.
They were
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you didn't know what they were going to play, and you didn't know like the set list, and
Yeah.
You didn't even really know what they looked like
No.
necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you
Exactly.
can just be like, oh, let's go on YouTube, and if I don't like it, I won't go.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Or,
I
you
do
know,
that. I know. I'm,
Oh, I do too, and it's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I have to force myself. Like, I went to see GNR 4 times in their reunion tour.
Wild.
Vegas first night. I always said, if they get back together, I'm fucking going the first night they play. I don't care if it's in Budapest.
Nice.
Right.
I'm going. And we went to Vegas, got tickets, $500 each American for tickets.
Whoa.
Wild.
Went down for 2
Wild.
nights to Las Vegas
Yeah.
Well, you gotta.
and seen it. But like, I was like, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
There was no, and it was so exciting because you're like, what the fuck are they going to play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
what's the first song going to be?
Yeah, like, it was just nuts because there
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't anything to go look at. It kind of
Yeah.
felt like it was back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's awesome.
There was no interviews, there was no pictures, there was nothing.
Crazy.
There was
Wow.
just the show. And what did they open with?
It's so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. You think that would have been Welcome to the Jungle right off the bat?
No, it was like fourth
It's
song.
so easy, man. That's one of their best songs, I think. Very punky but rock and roll.
Well, it's also,
record.
yeah, that's really putting it out there in terms of like,
Yeah.
this is what's up. you
Here
know?
we are. Wild. And that was Steve didn't play at all on that tour, did he?
No. He did a couple songs throughout the tour. He didn't play any ones we seen. We seen them in Vegas, Boston, Ottawa, and Toronto.
Jesus Christ. Wild. Same set every night?
Yep.
That's kind of weird. think they kind of mix it up a little bit.
I thought so too, but
Even the Stones kind of change it up once in a while. Those old farts.
but like
Oh, I think they changed their set list up. Yeah, they play the same songs, but
But they never do the same. I think I remember
They always
there's like an
mix it
app or
up.
something like that. On their app, you can vote for the song that they should end the night with. Or,
did you see the Stones when they played Moncton?
I did. I was at that. I was on Keith's side.
Couldn't believe it, man.
Fucking insane. Just ridiculous.
Just to be able to say we've seen the fucking
Yeah,
Rolling
I know,
Stones,
right?
man.
I know.
Yeah.
And to be like, there's Keith Richards right there. You know what I mean? Or,
that's
there's
what
Charlie
I found
back
too.
there. You know?
'Cause I always
Like,
thought the
holy-
Rolling Stones were lame growing up. I love them now, but I always
Yeah.
growing up, because I knew the '90s Rolling Stones, and I was like,
okay.
thought they're old.
Sorry.
They're like trying to be a cool rock band, and they sucks. Like, and then I went to see them, and that was really before I kind of came around. But it was when they came out there on that riser. They came out
Yeah.
over the crowd. You're like,
Yeah.
that is Mick Jagger, Keith Richards,
And they started
Charlie
off
Watts.
with like "Start Me Up," didn't they?
Yeah.
First song
So,
of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We're into this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No kind of easing your way into that one at
Oh,
all.
I know. Yeah, Mick Jagger just comes like running out of the side of the stage.
Insane.
Doing
right?
kicks.
It's
Absolutely
insane to
amazing.
be up there watching, going like, that's them.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Rolling Stones right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Yeah, that was a pretty cool show. That was like one of the bands that I grew up kind of listening to, like having two older brothers. It was like Stones, Grateful Dead, and then there was like kind of the punk movement kind of flowed in there a little bit.
Yeah.
And then country from my parents. But yeah, the Stones have always been kind of in my life
Yeah.
throughout the whole time. It's kind of weird. The Who and the Stones. Two totally opposite drummers, but yet
Yeah, right.
somehow.
Charlie's great though. I love Charlie Watts.
Well, Charlie Watts,
awesome.
man, he's
Yeah.
near 70, or he is 70.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And goes out there and just kicks ass still for 2.5 hours a night.
Yeah. There's great footage of him standing behind his, I guess it's his monitor. It's like, say, like a size of like an Ampeg cabinet. And he does a little like little dance before he goes out, like to the whatever the opening music is. Like I think they play like some kind of like old jazz standard or something like that. And so before he goes out, he's like doing a little dance, and they like no one else can see him except the backstage people or whatever. But
Right.
that's kind of like his little routine that he does before he goes out on stage. It's just so weird to
Funny.
think. And supposedly he has like a stand specifically for his suit jacket. It's
Really?
like right there by the kit. Like whenever he's ready to take off his coat, he hangs up his
There's
jacket. Like
a classic story.
like
They were
gentlemen.
in a hotel one night, and Jagger was drunk off his ass and called Charlie Watts in the middle of the night and said, "You're my drummer. Get down here. I want to talk to you." So Charlie got up, shaved, had a shower, put on a suit, knocked on the door. Mick opened the door, punched him right in the face, and goes, "You're my singer."
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Well,
can't argue with that.
okay.
Like,
No.
Back to bed. Yeah, I saw the Crossfire Hurricane documentary. It's on Netflix.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
That's really good. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny that Charlie's just so deadpan and just so dry. And he's just like, I never wanted to be a star. Like, Charlie would be happy if he could just make the records and go out and no one knows who he is. Like, he hates all the screaming
Yeah.
fans.
well, he
and all
said,
that,
he goes,
whatever.
like, I do the Stones for the money.
Yeah.
He goes, I play in my jazz band
Yeah.
because I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Well, that's the thing, right? He's a jazz drummer. He was never supposed to. I don't think he was ever supposed to stay in the band.
No,
That
they
was the thing.
had to hire him because I listened to the audiobook of the Keith Richards autobiography, and he's talking about that. When they had to, he was like the best drummer in town or the best drummer they knew, and they had to convince him to join the band. He's like, well, if I'm going to take my drums on the train, you're going to pay me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there you
that's a pretty long fill-in.
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
years,
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's pretty
60
awesome.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I guess the trick too is that the band doesn't follow him; he follows Keith, and then the rest of the band follows him. So
Right.
he's always slightly behind what Keith is playing, and then the rest of the band
Is that why
slightly
he
behind Charlie.
lifts the hand up off the hi-hat? So
don't
he can
know.
drop that snare kind of...
I have no idea why he does that. It's just kind of something that he just started doing.
it's funny. His feel is great, but his technique is weird. And even some of he'll open the hi hat in weird spots and like hit a cymbal in weird spots.
Yeah, it's really strange.
But what do you say? It's fucking Charlie Watts.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love it.
I do that every once in a while. Do that hi-hat trick that he does.
Yeah.
Is it just so you can throw the snare down kind of wherever you want and
I
still
guess
kind of be
so.
in time?
I usually do it like if I'm playing a little too fast, I'll like without really screwing up the beat, I'll do that, and then it kind of cuts out a couple of sounds, I guess you could say, a couple of notes,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it kind of brings everything back, like normalizes everything. That's the reason why I do it. I don't know if that's what he's doing at all, or if it's just, maybe it's just to get a little bit more of a smack on that snare drum, I guess. I don't know. Just kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's just funny to watch him do
And he
it. 'Cause
plays-
it just looks so stiff and just like.
I know it looks so awkward, but it's like how obviously he's got it figured out. He's been doing it long enough.
Yeah, exactly. And he comes out and kind of fiddles with his stuff to check it before he plays too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But yeah.
Usually he's got a drum key on the tom.
Yeah, Charlie out there too, and up in between sets.
Yeah.
Was like we played the Horseshoe in 2005, and I remember setting my kid up. It's like Charlie Watts set his drums up right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly right. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
cool, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is kind of crazy. Very nuts.
I said the same thing at Bob. Was like Mike MacDougall set his drums up right here.
Every time I play Hunters, I think Brady set his drums up right here, and then he said, "Fuck boys, let's get the fuck going here." Yeah, yeah, you know it, of course. Fucking legend.
Legend. They say down under.
So Ryan, what's next for us in the musical horizon?
What's next for you guys?
Yeah.
I can't tell you that.
Oh,
Why?
I don't know.
what do you think we should do next musically?
Get into music production.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
maybe a stage show?
No, like just get good with Ableton.
Chicky, I think you and your buddy should get that boy band fifth gear going.
gear.
Oh, I was never involved.
You- but I think you can have the name.
Yeah.
And
All
I think
right,
I think
thanks.
that's what you guys should do is just go get that going.
But now wait a minute.
I was
Brady.
never involved.
I don't wanna be
That
in it.
was-
Brady can sing and he can play drums, so you could be in that.
No, if I do anything, I'm gonna walk out with the walking stick and talk real low, like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'll just go and talk like halfway through it, and
Yeah,
Chicky be,
you do the spoken word parts
Yeah.
in the songs. Baby.
"I hurt too."
That was Spike, my buddy Spike. His friends in Ontario. That was their thing.
I heard too,
Yeah.
baby. I heard too.
Her too.
I'm going for get a chocolate milk. You want anything at Subway?
I don't know why I'm even here. They drag me around. I just walk out here and talk every once in a while.
Please, someone help me.
Jack's Twister.
What is this about? I want to start a metal cover band. That's what I want to do.
I'll
Do
sing
you
it.
actually?
Yeah, really?
I'll sing it.
Yeah, I want to that's all I listen to at work all the time. I'm just like, man, fucking a couple of Scorpions tunes, some like classic Van Halen, maybe throw in some like easy Slayer, and like
Right.
all like just some good classic stuff. Not like any of the cheesy kind of hair metal-y kind of stuff. Some of that's really good. Don't get me wrong, but like and just just have a set of that and just rip through like 40.
Like we could make that happen.
Yeah.
I know just the guys.
Well. And so it begins.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Like that's kind of my
You heard it here
my
first.
dream. Coming to a city near you.
Chicky's podcast,
There we go.
exclusive.
That would be wicked. We should do it.
What's the name of your podcast, Chicky?
I haven't come up with a name yet.
I think you should call it
8 Beat
Fifth Gear.
with
Yeah,
Chicky Brown.
My friend wanted to. My buddy Mike, who I interviewed for the first time, has got a name for it. He wanted to do a drum app. He was going to call it Beaten Off.
Beating off with Ryan.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's awesome. Beating off.
That name
That
might
is
be
pretty
taken. I don't know. He hasn't got it copyrighted. Whatever. We can call it that.
that could work.
You were listening to Beating Off with Chicky Brown.
Oh dear. Turn out the lights. Close the door. It's time for Beating Off.
I'm Brady from the Royal North, and this is Beating Off with Chicky Brown.
Love it. Station IDs. All right, should we wrap it up? Thanks.
Okay.
We can at least record the end anyway, so you can just drop it in wherever. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Thanks very much, man.
Ton of
Anytime.
fun.
Thank you.
Let's do this again sometime. 3 of us.
I love it.
Okay, we'll interview you instead.
Yep.
And we'll get way more beer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
Love it.
And we'll call cabs, and then...
I'll get a pack of darts too.
Oh,
Really
Jesus.
Make a friggin' evening of it, boys. Make a friggin' evening of it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, a word from your local sponsors. Your people.
This has been Beaten Off with Chicky Brown.
Hey, wasn't that fun? Aren't you glad you stuck around? Big thanks to Brady MacDonald and Mike MacDougall. And thanks to you for listening. Yay, you're so good. If you'd like links to anything that those guys do or more information, you can check my website, show notes, whatever, learndrums.ca/hitmakers. It's there for now. Tomorrow, who knows? Will we even get it tomorrow? I hope so. I got stuff to do. I hope you enjoyed this super long episode. I also didn't feel like editing it really because I think it's good and I got other stuff to do. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week. Thursdays from here on out. Take it easy.